Do you frequently catch yourself thinking about overseas experiences and traveling to other locations while gazing out your office window? Many of us have the same desire of escaping the 9-to-5 grind, and more individuals are really doing it. You say, sure, maybe I'll work abroad after I win the lottery. Travel doesn't have to be expensive, which is wonderful news. There are numerous reasonably priced nations where you may live, work, and possibly even vacation while receiving considerably more for your money. We're going to look at the 10 most affordable and desirable places to live and work today. But first, let's discuss how one of the biggest benefits of working overseas might be a cheaper cost of living. The majority of people assume that long-term travel or living abroad will be extremely expensive. And indeed, if you choose pricey destinations, your hard-earned money may not go very far. But you might be amazed at how well you can live on a low wage if you stay away from popular, extremely costly locations like Italy or Australia and stick to some of the cheapest countries to live and work in. When you might be traveling the world, enjoying experiences and making a good living, why toil away in a downtown office? In actuality, one of the main incentives for many individuals to relocate and find employment overseas is a low cost of living. Your costs should be reduced even if incomes are sometimes lower. Additionally, there are many of high-paying professions to be had, allowing you to live in a low-cost location while yet stretching your budget even further. In today's video, we will talk about the top 10 cheapest countries to live and work. So, make sure to watch the video till the end, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Number 10. Poland. Poland is a wonderful and reasonable alternative if you have your heart set on working and living in one of the most affordable nations in Europe. Poland, which is far less well known than its neighbor Germany, is gradually becoming into a popular destination for tourists and expatriates. The major cities of Warsaw and Krakow are quite contemporary and provide all the facilities found in the West, but for a fraction of the cost of a trip to Germany. Teaching is a possibility, but there are a variety of high-paying professional service jobs out there as well. Poland is a popular travel destination, especially for EU members, as it is a member of the Schengen area and hence visa-free. Customer service and English teaching are in-demand careers here. Cost of living. A supper out at a budget restaurant costs just around $5, while rent for a one-bedroom apartment starts at about $350. Number 9. Peru. If you're pursuing a once-in-a-lifetime trip on a budget, Peru could be the right destination for you. Bonus that it's one of the cheapest nations to live and work. Your money will go a lot farther here than it would in other South American nations because it is one of the world's least expensive countries. Any tourist must hike the Inca Trail and visit Machu Picchu, but there are also a lot of other lesser-known treasures to find. You will have plenty of time to visit the Inca Kingdom, from the Ica sand dunes to the Amazon jungle, if you live and work in Peru. English teaching, volunteering for charities, and working on conservation initiatives are popular careers here, but you may also find employment in marketing or tourism. Cost of living. A one-bedroom apartment may be rented for as little as $250, while a dinner at a nearby market would cost you between $1 and $3. Number 8. Thailand. Thailand must be mentioned on any list of the greatest and most affordable nations in the world. Travelers from all over the world had already fallen in love with the country of smiles before the release of the film The Beach. Even in populated areas like Bangkok and Chiang Mai, the cost of living is very inexpensive. Beach resorts often cost a little bit more, but they are still inexpensive when compared to other beach resorts throughout the globe. Thailand is the ideal country to live and work because of its clean seas, rich culture, and mouth-watering cuisine. To top it off, Thailand is also one of the safest and least expensive countries in which to reside. Popular positions here. The most typical career is teaching English. However, there are also hospitality positions available. Expenses of living. In Chiang Mai, for instance, you might get by just well for $600 a month. At street booths, marketplaces, and food courts in malls, $1 lunches are available. In a building designed in the West, rent for a private studio can be as cheap as $150 per month. The cost of a bus journey starts at about 30 cents. Number 7. South Korea. Although South Korea isn't the most affordable place to work and live, it made our list because of the highly competitive earnings and the frequent inclusion of free housing and programs, which greatly lowers the cost of living. Given that South Korea is renowned as one of the greatest locations in the world for teaching English as a foreign language, teaching English is the natural career choice. The beautiful and diverse scenery, the amazing cuisine, and the kind people make Korea an excellent place to work, explore, and save money. Korea's contemporary cities are on par with those in the US and Europe. Employment hotspots include sales and teaching English. Cost of living. Although Korea's cost of living is greater than that of Southeast Asian nations, it is still quite reasonable, with one-bedroom apartments starting to rent for around $375 and restaurant meals beginning at $6. Number 6. China. While China may not be your traditional work-abroad location, it is possible to work there and earn a very good living. There are numerous employment available and greater salaries than in many other Asian nations. Additionally, the economy is expanding. Of course, living in a major city like Shanghai or Beijing would cost more money, but incomes will also be much greater. Many work-abroad programs will offer events and even throw in free Mandarin courses, so you may even end up learning a completely new language while there. China is an amazing nation to visit. Popular positions here. The most common occupation for foreigners in China is teaching English, although it's also simple to get au pair positions. Cost of living. If you stay away from the largest cities, the cost of living in China may be surprisingly affordable. A lunch at a nearby restaurant costs around $3, while rent for a one-bedroom apartment starts at $300. Number 5. South Africa. Do you genuinely wish to work and live abroad, but are concerned about misinterpreting certain words? You no longer need to worry, since there are also some reasonably priced English-speaking nations, such as South Africa, which ranks number 5 on our list of the greatest and most affordable places to live. South Africa may be the least expensive English-speaking nation to reside in. You won't need to attend language school, and most South African cities have a high level of living that is comparable to that of Western cities, which will make the adjustment much simpler. This puts it in the running to be the least expensive English-speaking nation to live in. The southernmost country in Africa is also one of the world's most culturally and racially diverse nations, as if that weren't enough. You won't be bored in South Africa since there are safaris, whale watching, river rafting, and zip lines, among other activities. Popular occupations. Even though South Africa is an English-speaking nation with 10 other official languages, teaching English is still a common choice. Additionally, a wide variety of opportunities in tourism and with multinational corporations are available. Cost of living. A domestic beer costs around $1.70. A one-bedroom apartment rents for about $350 to $500 per month, and meals at nearby restaurants start at $8. Number 4. Mexico. Why go farther than necessary when Mexico is often only a quick flight away for Americans and Canadians? Everybody can benefit from Mexico. Think of the pristine Caribbean waters, Mayan ruins in the rainforest, and relaxed beach villages along the Pacific. Oh, and have we already brought up the street food? The cuisine is not only mouth-watering, but also quite affordable, with options ranging from tacos to tamales, ceviche to aguas frescas. Living expenses might be considerably lower than in Western cities if you stay away from tourist traps like Cancun or Playa del Carmen, and choose more regional locations instead, like Esmeralda or Guanajuato. Popular occupations in this area include sales, au pair, tourism, and English teaching. Living expenses range from $200 to $500 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, with street food starting at $1 per meal and a monthly ticket for local transportation starting at $16. Number 3. Bulgaria. Bulgaria may surprise you as one of the cheapest places to live and work, but bear with us. If the high cost of living in nations like France and Italy deters you from working and living abroad in Europe, focus your attention on Eastern Europe. Bulgaria is one of the least expensive places to live in Europe and has swiftly gained popularity among tourists. With countries like Greece, Turkey, and Romania just on your doorstep, Bulgaria's center location makes it the ideal place to explore the area on a small budget. With a history that goes back more than 8,000 years, Bulgaria offers a dynamic and complex culture that you may visit during your free time. Popular positions here: English teaching and tourism jobs. Expenses of living a lunch at a cheap restaurant will cost you about $5, while a ride on the public transportation may be had for as low as $1. The monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment starts at $230. Number 2. Costa Rica. Not simply because it's one of the 10 cheapest places to live, Costa Rica is undoubtedly the most well-known nation in Central America. You will fall in love with this nation and its pura vida feel right away, thanks to the lush forests, beautiful beaches, and welcoming residents. Additionally, Costa Rica is one of the least expensive nations for Americans to live in, so you won't have to go bankrupt while residing and working there. Finding inexpensive flights from the US is very simple, which increases the allure of visiting Costa Rica. Costa Rica is more expensive than neighboring nations like Guatemala and Nicaragua, but the salary premium more than makes up the difference. Popular careers include English teaching, tourism, and scuba diving. The cost of living ranges from $3 to $6 for a dinner at a nearby restaurant, from $300 to $800 a month for rent, depending on the size and location of the apartment, and from 70 cents per trip for local transportation. Number 1. Vietnam. Vietnam is any budget traveler's dream if they wish to live and work in an exotic location without spending a fortune. For foreigners, it's one of the greatest and most affordable places to reside. There is a lot to see and do in Vietnam, despite the fact that it is still somewhat of an undiscovered gem when it comes to affordable places to live and explore. Vietnam is a place for travelers seeking adventure, as well as beautiful landscapes to explore and delectable native cuisine. Ho Chi Minh City in the south, Hanoi, the nation's capital, in the north, and Da Nang in the country's center are the major cities. These cities will have the majority of jobs. The Vietnamese dong. The Vietnamese dong, one of the few currencies that has fallen in value against the dollar in recent years, is presently valued at roughly 23,000 VND to $1. Teaching English is the most sought-after occupation for foreigners in Vietnam. There are many chances for English instructors, and the average monthly salary is better than in many of the nearby nations, $1,100 to $1,700 USD. Cost of living. The cost of living in Vietnam varies depending on the city or region you choose to reside in, as it does in most other nations. Of course, living in cities like Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi is more expensive, but the salary is also greater. If you stick to local eateries or street food, a small flat may be rented for around $250 per month, while meals out cost about $1 to $3 and about $10 in Western-style eateries. Local public transportation costs as little as 30 cents, while taxi fares start at just 50 cents per kilometer. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing, so we can keep bringing more content like this. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time!